So what exactly are people waiting for? Their whole dreams to be taken away because these people can't get through their heads that you may have wanted a better life, or that these other people may have wanted a better life, or to actually have been protected, not assisted into that state of duress that they're currently living in, or just be taken out of it somehow. But just what are people thinking these days? We're not fighting hard enough for our natural rights as human beings, if you ask me, to perform in this life in the ways that we ought to be right now, instead of allowing for more people to continue to become as subjects of the state and the people of these states of duress that we are in, where we're supposedly to uphold oaths to protect. These oaths don't mean a thing unless these words come with the moral compass attached to them, where the people are to uphold them. But the damages that have already been done right here in America, where people live outrightly their heavily tarnished lives that have been services to us in that way, with the help of their own tax dollars to do so. So we're paying our taxes just to be targeted. We're enslaved. At least on a soul level, I believe that, yeah, every single man, woman, and child today is enslaved. We've highly been affected by these highly toxic environments that people are also not adding any agency to, of awareness to. We're being enslaved. I think people have to get out here and teach these things on the soul level, where everyone who is working on that level of getting people to wake up and doing something about it, or feeling it on a conscious level, to where you know it, I know it, and we're going to make other people know it, and have reason behind our mission to want to change things, because we're not going to take off any more time away from our own futures that we want to create. And I feel that we have every right to do so, not only for ourselves, but for the generations to come. Not with what I've been witnessing taking place in my own life. No one has the right to do what they have been doing to me. Not over my dead body. Will the future of this world ever have to live one more day as I've had to? If I can do anything to support the cause, to protect people from that said abuse. No. I've been forced to live as though nobody should have had to have lived, where every single day has been a battle to get up and face the day, just because of the things that have been happening to me, suppressing my life and its ability to be able to live free from my enslavement in complete ways, free from my life, free from my own safety, and free from my own self, not knowing where these battles were coming from, learning quite recently where they were coming from. I simply cannot call that what I'm doing today is anything near living. I cannot call what I'm doing today is anything that would promote that kind of life, and it's not a life at all. Most assuredly just a death rattle awakening the human spirit to the truth about what kind of reality the human condition is that we're living in. And that is, I'm living in duress. People don't recognize things that I say is true. They see it as it's just another thing another thing to add to the list of reasons to call it mental health or mental health case. It has nothing to do with such reasons. I just need more teachers and true objectives out here in reality to be looking at these things objectively. And I'm talking to everyone that's willing to listen and really look into what I have to say in this kind of life currently living and what I've been through. It's just enough. So we're currently living in that kind of, former made world with just it's emptiness, it's vast emptiness. And with what I've currently gone through, it's sheer devastation. And spineless on purpose. Coming from a friend hacking me for that long and me in the resolve thinking, I don't know how to get out of this, because it's like you're in a mind frame that you can't get out of. You're being drugged. You're being drugged. And you're like lost off in the efforts of trying to figure it out because you love the person that is doing it to you, so you just don't understand that it could be coming from them. But then you're also like collecting different patterns of abuse every time that man's around. So either way, I believe that we simply have got to step up our efforts to shut away the fear of speaking out in general, because it's not an easy thing to do. It's just that it isn't my first choice on what I would have wanted to do in the first place, but I'm feeling confident that it's my calling and duty to do as an American today, with as many attempts as I've had perverting my life that are just unspeakable things that took place in my life. Pain that runs so deep that anyone who's anybody with any real intelligence looking into the condition to know what exactly that I've been fighting will be able to see the shit that I've been fighting for exactly what it is. I care because I don't want to allow a future generation to live as though I've had to have lived. Not if I can help it, they won't. Not over my dead body. They'll at least be able to learn from these things that are going on as much as I can teach them before I do die. But no one's gonna be happy said just should go through all of this oppressive behaviors, tyrannical acts, as if they just felt like that's all they were. That's all that they were going to be handed. That's all it was ever going to be coming into their life. Just to make them feel that there's a pain inside of this life. It just makes you feel like you got to escape from. And then you come to find out that that's exactly where it was coming from, so to speak, and you kind of put things together after a set of facts. But they're many, and they're constant. So I sacrificed sleep and everything just to sit there and write all of this stuff out to you guys, because I believed and understand that it's not only something about myself and my own life, but it's about the future generations, and it's about the people that are to come to know this kind of static state of duress that can be created in a person's life through the encouragement of this hacking, this kind of misaligning of people. And then it introduces you into a fight that no one else is supposed to see but you. So people have lost their ambition to fight anymore. If you ask me, they just don't have the courage anymore. And people have died to just learning to that kind of thing that is going on in people's lives, as if anything is actually true. Not to just push it right upon the person right off the bat, like, oh, you're being murdered. Like, oh, we're just got to make sure that you're okay in the brain. Really? That's where it goes to right away, okay? It just took a long time to get here, and I'm just outright, like, I'm just down to fight, because it's high time the rest of the world knows what is actually happening to me, what's happening to their rights, what's really going on in the world. It's making them feel so utterly destroyed at the soul level. Because it does, it destroys you up at the soul level. You don't know exactly where to go with it. You might not like my method or tone. I could give a shit less about that, because it's not about my voice. It's about the words that I'm saying. There simply has to be more done about it, and more people willing to step up their efforts to end the kind of duress that we're all being led into as people, going into the suffer like cattle, suffering a whole lot more, and just I'm not willing to put up with any more of the efforts to say that there isn't something more to see that's going on here, and something is utterly gutter trash, utterly wrong, and I'm not gonna fucking take it anymore. I don't think that other people should either. All I'm trying to do is set up a subvert situation like those in revolutions have been. That if we don't step up the game now, they'll continue to take away until there'll just be a war like you've never seen before, heard of, and you won't even be around to, like, there'll just be a big old drone coming overhead, or whatever. A drone coming overhead, just here you are, done. So I don't want that. You don't want that. No one wants that. The evil at play in the world is just those evils that I think keep on creeping up in from the state, that leaves us in the state of duress, that need to be changed and transferred, or things are going to look as ugly as, you know, what's been painted in before. But people aren't going to tolerate it either way. Setting coming from artificial intelligence and all these hacker moves and motivations made by money, or the lack thereof money. People aren't going to be motivated to create that kind of condition for humanity overall, just living under enslaved duress forever. We're not going to do anything about it, right? We're just going to sit there and take it. Right? Wrong. You ask me, you're wrong. People are not going to take it. People are not physically prepared for a real war that could come into this country if they're not prepared to go up against these ideologies that are physically taking stake at your actual abilities in life. And when the shit hits the fan, most people are not going to want to know what to do with. They're not going to know what to do with any of it. So I'm just trying to prepare people for that time when that time comes. Because if they continue to think that these things aren't going to happen, or that they couldn't happen in their lifetime for their own safety and security reasons, because that's just what is happening. They're going to get worse for the matter, and before they do get better, they are going to get worse. But we have to have more people that are willing to do these kinds of security measures on their own safety resources, because without their contingency to doing so, to step up for our rights that are being stripped from us, then they're simply just going to continue to getting away with it without anything being done in rebuttal about it. We have to go into that spiritual war about it. They've lost their whole life. People have lost their whole lives to the machine. And there's people who have just given up. I just don't want to give up on our freedoms. I don't want to give up on my life. Because I just haven't really gotten one. I think it's quite sad, because I know there's others out there that feel the same way I do. And it's hurtful, and it's sad, and it's scary. And let's face it, most people are fine with the way life is. They make enough money, they're supported, and they feel like they can make their ends meet to the most ends of it. They can continue in their grind to keep fighting after more. But that's what it's going to be turning out to be, if you ask me. Is the actual effect in your life to really try, continuously really try, going after that dangling carrot in front of your face. But it's always going to be more challenging for more challenging in a way that's abusive to you, abusive to your families, and abusive to the constituents that really take on for more obligation to fight for such things in your own life. So I think enough is enough, and people have given up on others where others have mattered. Not to give up on them that do matter, that can make changes, that could make changes. These people are outrightly riddled out of their lives already. I'm already standing inside of an overt knowledge of what things have already happened to me behind all of the facts, and now I'm standing in even a worse place than when I actually put this together. But I've already gotten the lengths of investigative work, heavy, hard-hitting, hardcore to the heart, that would make any natural person want to throw up from seeing the things that I've seen and studied into the kind of areas that I've been willing to study into, just to understand our world a little bit better, and also seeing that same detriment of information being stripped from the internet. I think it's quite scary to see what these psychopaths have actually done, and actually see it being taken away from the eyes for people to make up a conscious decision for themselves, what to think for themselves, based on the information that people are describing or putting together, and even said proofs within their own lives being stripped from the internet. This will subvert our life into more poverty and into more ways that there's no coming back from. And once we territories where there's no coming back from, you might as well battle upon your life, because you're only gonna be saving yourself time, energy, money, and all of your resources, working hard to get back from what is robbed from you, only to discover that it's further robbed from you, just as I have. So without that being said, I'm just trying to portray to people that they have the right to give up trying. They have the right, if they want to give up trying, they have the right to stop doing what is natural to do. Sure, that's not the moral obligation thing to do. As more and more behaviors are such wrong and out of balance continue to happen, and you have that right. I'm not portraying that you don't have the right to not give a fuck. Go ahead, go batshit crazy, not give a fuck about a goddamn thing. Sorry to take the Lord's name in vain that way, but I'm not really happy about this topic. I'm not really happy about the people that go around this stuff in the first place, because this stuff has to do with my life and how people are treating me in my life for all of my life. So I have the right to say what I'm trying to say. I have the right to come out here and say what is on my mind. People don't have the right to cut me off. And people have the right, who want to learn from this stuff, to have the right to go about their own business learning from it. It's for educational reasons only, and I'm only trying to inform people of what my life has been like. Hopefully, being able to earn donations from people to be able to turn around my life and create an actual thing that I've been writing on for a long time, that I think has a lot of power to turn around a lot of that's going on in this world today. So I have the right to try and go up against these evils that have been oppressing me non-stop, consenting the right to my information being stolen from me, consenting the right to access to my home, consenting their rights in any ways that make securing my own rights an impossibility, just stripped out of my life completely. And it will end the actual second that you're up against something larger than that, but you're not just being pressed by some thumb above you or anything like that. When it's actually being oppressed, you're actually being censored, you are actually being hacked, you are actually being extracted from your said true freedoms, your said reality. You're actually being extracted from the ways that the rest of the world might see and feel in their own true freedoms, or the freedoms that they see as true as they can be. But none of us are actually free. Once one of us are free, and the system works covertly against one, the whole system is corrupt and broken, and what the original system was here in a nutshell, to protect and to make possible. So we're simply being made as the subjects of a slave system and forced to live in that of a slave-like society, where no one's brave enough to face it for what it is or speak out against it, because it's taking away that energy that they have, where they might have had to fight. Instead of being able to fight, they don't have it in them. They want to go lie down, green pastures, and die. And as I stand here, and I'm going to war to fight for myself and others in the realm of this kind of evil, where evil men are doing the oppressing shit, this is exactly what they want. It's exactly what they got. It's exactly what they've ordered. It's our inability to do what we first wanted to do, and instead go up to battle in these kinds of ways, to speak out. But when you come to realize that you are set on earth to do other things, you are set on earth to do things, courageous things, you will feel like you've never felt before. When you do get started, you're going to do anything, whatever it is, so that you can stop currently living, so you can stop the current state that you are living in, the current state of duress, and bring yourself back into joy. Bring yourself back into happiness. So finding that joy in what you do love is, you're the person that's going to have to do that no matter what you're facing. and sometimes those things get more challenging than other times. Which is the place that I'm currently in. I'm just in a monster of a place, and I'm just going through some really old information here. But the modern day anarchists saying no to slavery say no masters and no slaves. Anarchists in modern times are dissidents because they fully reject the belief in authority, and they reject having a ruling class or a centralized power structure as it be. Anarchists understand that truth, no matter where it can be, legitimately, in truth, that no being can legitimately rule over another being. By direct contrast, every non-anarchist statist is a supporter of that said slavery in our eyes. So the anarchists in modern times are dissidents because we fully reject the belief in the authority and reject having a ruling class or a central class of power like we currently see it today. And I for one like the saying, no masters, no slaves, because that's what we should be going after, folks. We shouldn't be having a class of people that over anybody at all. And until we can secure our own data and communications to be able to be free people, we're never going to be allowed to such things, because that they're collecting the data is enabling it for the criminals, and mainly saying what has come out in leaks and everything is to suggest that you and I are under attack. We're paying for the service that's legitimately stealing our data to then target us, just like our tax dollars and everything else. So there's a lot going on here in this anarchist movement. I'm going to stop right here. I hope you pay attention to my next one. I'm really glad that you guys are here, you guys. It's been a lot to get to where I'm at. If I could only explain that, it would take a lifetime probably, but you have no idea. I appreciate the support that I get out here, and I really appreciate any donations that can be made, as I'm not getting much help besides from family. And what help that I get is not the kind of help that I'm looking for. I'm actually looking for a campaign to be started for my cause and for my mission, and given the length and the amount of duress that I've been in, I believe it's absolutely my right to ask in this way. So if you can, please put together a campaign for me, even if it starts small or what have you. Like anything is better than nothing, and it would really make for a big impact in my own life to be able to possibly continue to grind forward, given the extremities that have come up my way. And so I just wanted to extend my gratitude to all you guys supporting me out here. And I understand my voice isn't the very best on this $8 microphone, and I've not been feeling well these past few days, so I just want people to know that I really do appreciate the support, and I hope that you guys can help me reach for more support in the coming days and months. And just thank you from the bottom of my heart for being here and supporting me, not only on these works, but all my other works as well. Because I do work really hard on this stuff, and I really do appreciate you guys, so thank you very much.